you hear me now?
Where my girls at?
Baby, can you hear me now?
Where my girls at? Independent, free spirit. Ooh, it's something serious. Where my girls at? We ain't linked up in a cool minute. Where my girls at? It's going down, down. Where my girls at? It's going down, down. It's going down tonight. We going out tonight. Yeah, right. We going out tonight. It's going down tonight. Yeah, right. It's going down tonight. We going out tonight. Yeah, right. We going out tonight. It's going down tonight. Yeah, right.
We here Friday and we here. I don't think either one of us knows who's talking to Facebook, so I'm just going to talk to Facebook. Welcome, welcome, welcome Friday. Welcome Friday. It is Happy Friday. Hey, Carolyn Muse, go ahead and sign in the chat. Go ahead and sign in the chat. Let us know what you're doing, what you got up for the weekend. What you got up for the weekend? I tell you, when we are on the phone, when we are on here, I know y'all think we don't pay attention, but we got iPad, we got phones, we text with the radio, we text with each other. So I'm telling you, you got to have multiple screens so you can see what everybody is doing. Okay, so yeah, I'm on Facebook today because I missed the text. So hello, thanks for joining in. Today it's going to be a cool show. We're going to be talking about what is going on and the difference. You know, babies born pre 9/11, after 9/11, babies born pre COVID, after COVID. It's a new day. It's a new day. Yes, getting ready, getting ready, getting ready. That's exactly what's happening up in here, Gloria. We are rapping in the other room, and I don't mean Dougie Fresh rapping. Where my girls at? I love that. I love that. Don't you love that song, Carla? I think they're throwing in a few extra ads on the front. Normally we are in, but we are still listening to an ad for phones right now. And so this is really, really, really cool. We see Gloria looking good in blue. Crisette, she's still at her getting her house all hooked up and ready to go. You'll be able to tell that she's in that big, beautiful new home. Right now it's becoming smart. She told us yesterday, right? Smart home. Yes, yes, yes. It is pretty. And so lots going on, and we're going to talk about it all today. Sabrina will be back on Monday. Birthday coming up. So we're celebrating the birthday girl. Who else is an August birthday? Next week is my mom's birthday. So got some plans going on. And yeah, Carla, we love the song. We love the song. They got a lot of ads today. I'm the Phila hype person. We still got ads. You know how sometimes you're watching that TV show and it's like another ad and another ad and another commercial. We got bills to pay. Okay. Oh, we got issues. So thanks for listening in. For anyone who's listening the first time, we are live on the radio, 9:10 a.m. the Superstation WFDF out of Detroit, but broadcasting on iHeartRadio, on the app, 9:10 a.m. Superstation app, 9:10 a.m. Superstation website. So folks tune in from all over the world, and we just happen to pop into Facebook and YouTube at the same time. So we are 4 minutes into the show, and we still have a commercial. As soon as I hear my voice and our voices pop in, another ad, get excited. Yes, yes, Jalen. Oh, she's here. We are. Hold on one second. Um, let me see. to you. I think she's having problems.
I'm here.
Let me see.
Can you hear me?
I'm texting her now. All right. Yeah. Call in. Okay. Jalen says, y'all are getting behind the scenes. Jalen says he can't hear you. Call in. No wonder he's given us extra ads. We have a connection problem with our host.
Jalen, can you not hear me?
He's connected. Okay. But we have a connection problem. You can roll.
Jalen, can you hear me?
I can start if needed.
Jalen, you can't hear me?
Okay.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
I could hear you for a second. I can hear the radio show. I didn't hear the music come on or anything.
Hold on. Texting the radio station.
Okay. So can I do it from here?
Jalen, if you need to roll,
Okay.
Chris
All
and
right.
I can take it.
Is the music playing or do I just start talking?
Okay, here we go.
Okay. Okay.
Here we go, y'all. Here we go. We got issues today. Y'all seeing the real behind the scenes issues. You can tell the more moving around we're doing, the more that's happening in the background. Okay. Yeah, y'all hear her here. They couldn't hear her on the radio. So I think he's hearing her now on the radio. All righty. Okay, here we go. Our theme music is playing now. I'm getting ready to unmute and sign in to the radio. So here we go.
Independent and free spirit. Independent and free spirit. Oh my God. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. You guys, yesterday's show was all about technology and today we got issues. We got issues. My name is Gloria Mayfield Banks. I'm so glad that you are here with us this Friday from 6 to 7 p.m. on WFDF 910 a.m. What? The Superstation, the Superstation. And we're so excited to be here with you. We're so excited that you're part of our tribe. We're so excited that you're listening to us internationally. We love hearing from all the markets that have an ear for listening to We Got Issues, to the force of friendship, which is not being Pollyanna, but we're being positive, we're being powerful. You guys, seriously, messy, sassy, classy, bossy. What is it? What are you? Who are you? Talk to us, talk to us. Don't forget, today, I'm inviting you to call in, crack your fingers, and call into 313-778-7600 because we know that today's topic touches everybody. We are talking about the changes that have happened since 9/11. Are they permanent? The changes since COVID, are they permanent? You know, when we go through life, we never know what's going to be happening, how our life has been changed by some of the most significant incidents that have happened. But before we talk about that, there's so much news going on. And oh my gosh, I really wish sometimes on radio you could see my girlfriends because they are absolutely gorgeous, absolutely ray of sunshine, absolutely have the brightest smile. That's why we can't interrupt each other. That's why we can't fight with each other because we so believe in each other. We are a hot mess because we got issues. We got a hot mess. We're missing the one that tries to start the mess. We're missing her today. Sabrina Goodwin Monday. Living her best life. Her best life. Getting ready to celebrate her birthday. You guys, seriously, all of us need to take a lesson from Sabrina Goodwin Monday as she celebrates her family through her birthday on vacation. We need to all try to figure out how to get away for a long time, get a big old hat that says, do not disturb. What? Do not disturb. It's my birthday. So she's taking it on and we're missing you, Sabrina, but we're so excited. We're going to go from the East Coast here, the DMV where I'm sitting, to the West Coast out there, Caterina Harris Earl. Let me tell you something. She's one of the girls, but she is in the midst of us seeing one of the things we're going to be talking about is the fires out there in California. Seriously.
Oh my goodness.
Seriously,
yes.
Guys, seriously. But that curl top, let me tell you something. Every day I think about what am I going to put on so I can get me a compliment. So today I'm going to tell you right now, Caterina, I just love your shirt, okay? What's happening out there?
Thank you. You know, sometimes when we're together, we're like, let me borrow that. Let me use that. Let me see that. I was looking at a picture the other day of you online. I said, man, that Gloria, she is super bad all day long, and she got on my top. Okay. In the photo shoot. I mean, oh my gosh, it's just so good to have great friends. But Gloria, honestly, I'm gonna talk about the fires in a moment because that's
in a moment.
Really on the serious tip. But yesterday I was talking about my trainer. I went out and I did what I had to do, and then I went on Instagram and saw you pulling down all the weight. I was like, oh Lord, here I am, my little 6 pounds. I was like, you ain't right. But it's so much going on. You know, I was working on my closet. Chris is getting her smart home today. I am, what do they call it? Marie Kondo, my kitchen.
Yes.
I don't know what they call it, but she is
Yes.
down there doing it now. I don't even like to cook, but it's gonna be something like going to the pantry and all my stuff. I looked at Tia Mowry. Y'all follow her on social media.
Who?
She just had a cookbook. Tia Mowry, you know the twins, Tia and
yeah. From the TV show.
Tia.
Right.
Yeah, from the TV show. She just had a cookbook come out, and
Really?
so she's in her pantry, and you know her kitchen just immaculate, Hollywood looking. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get the Harris Earl version of that up in here. So, but my news for the day, Gloria, I just real quick grabbed 3 things because there's so much that's going on.
Right.
August 4th was equal pay, Black Women's Equal Pay Day.
Yes, talk about it, Caterina. Talk about it.
That is just like seriously, what is it? Was 63 cents on the dollar. I mean, just equal pay. We need equal pay for the same amount of work. Are you kidding me?
Wait, let's highlight that for a minute because we don't want that to go underneath. Did you say 66 or 63% on the dollar?
I think it's 63. I'm going to go look and get the exact number.
Wow.
But like 63 cents on the dollar. And they're, if you go to that website, it shows Native American, it shows Latina, African American. I mean, compared to men, women are paid less, but then for Black women, it's even lower. And when you look education for education, isn't it true that they talk about we are one of the most educated demographics? Okay?
It is true. Yes.
Bulk of the student loans and all kinds of stuff up in here. So equal pay, it's just real interesting. Interesting. Yes. So,
you know, as people think about calling into the show, you might have a story about equal pay. And I always tell people that a secret that you carry is the most heaviest thing that you can carry. So you guys can enlighten us if you're in that situation, or you know someone that's in that situation, or you know someone who's come out of that situation. Because honestly, breakthrough after breakthrough after breakthrough is important. And equal pay is one thing, and the way we're treated at our jobs because of the lack of respect that we get that starts at the pay. Remember, this should be our new slogan. Our new slogan should be, we got issues and everything's about money. Because every time we get talking about something, we talk about economics, driving this, driving that. And here's another example of economics driving something serious, Caterina. That's serious.
And then the fires, Gloria. Now, this is what's sad about it, is when the fires get normalized, that they're not even at the top of the news. But it just popped up. I find out more about what's taking place in California through CNN than I do from the California news.
Really?
Because COVID is taking over, and we're kind of like used to just stuff burning up. Is that terrible? But California's Dixie Fire has leveled a historic community and left people unaccounted for. Not far south, another blaze is growing also. So it's just
Caterina, I heard this statistic that one of the fires is as large as the land mass of Los Angeles. And Los Angeles is the largest landmass city in the United States. And then Jacksonville is the second largest. And they said 25,000 people were getting evacuated for one of the fires. And the way the fire is raging, they've never seen it rage like that. They said this is one of the first times the firefighters have felt really, really bad because they've had to retreat because there was nothing they could do.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So hot and so Caterina, dry.
Is it because now these are, I know a lot of times when they talk about the fires in California and various places, sometimes it is because of human error, or sometimes it's because somebody did it on purpose. But the one that's raging right now, is it just because you guys haven't gotten any rain and it's just so dry?
I could stand corrected because there's many of them, but they're not talking about arson. These are, it is dry, dry, dry. I cannot remember when I
Climate
saw
control,
rain.
climate again,
I
climate
can't remember
change.
when we saw rain. Yeah.
Yeah, we need to say it what it is climate change, climate change. And there was a guy on the news talking about how bad the climate change is, the situation with the climate change. He made an analogy. I got to think what his analogy was, but it was scary about the analogy, the realness of it. And he said how they can see it from the sky. So, I guess want to say, we're praying for those of you that are listening to 9:10 a.m. the Superstation out there in California. We're thinking about you often. We're going to swing over there to Detroit, the big Detroit with the white blouse and the pink lips. Crisette, Ellis, talk to it.
Hey everybody, it is Friday. Happy Friday. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad that it is Friday, and it's always a joy to hang out with my girlfriends and with each and every one of you. Yep, I see you. Greetings from Detroit. It is absolutely a drop dead gorgeous day in Detroit. And hey, before I throw it back to Gloria, I got an announcement. Now, you guys, so many of you that listen, you have businesses. You absolutely have businesses, and you may have been thinking, I wonder if we got issues, if 910 the Superstation have opportunities for me to advertise my business, because I'm telling you guys, the world has changed a lot, right? And the way we do business have changed a lot. And so whenever you get an opportunity to have your name out there, have people talking about what you are doing, you want to take advantage of it. So you know what? You're going to be so excited that you tuned into 9:10 a.m. the Superstation today, because when I tell you there is a wonderful package that 9:10 a.m. is offering to any entrepreneurs or business owners. And let me tell you what it is. So it is the greatest advertising deal ever. Can you get excited? It is called their Godfather package. And what do you get in the Godfather package? Well, I'm so glad you asked. You're going to get 200 spots. 200. I did not say that wrong. 200 spots for $500 with a must air within 30-day policy. You guys, come on, do the math. That's only $2.50 per spot. And guess what? It gets even better. 9:10 a.m. will produce the spots for you. What? That's right. That's a shut up. Okay. So if you're interested in advertising, on 9:10 a.m. the Superstation, we want you to write this number down. Call Ronisha at 313-434-8291. I promise you, that's a deal you cannot leave on the table. So give her a call. Again, Ronisha at 313-434-8291. All right, Gloria, I'm throwing it back to you.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, girls. We're going to have such a good time having sponsors roll in, and they're going to make the sponsor spot for them. I thought that was so exciting that they're going to make this advertisement for you. Now, you may not get one as cute as we got, okay? Independent, free-spirited girlfriend with a jingle. But you might get a jingle. You might get a jingle if you become their favorite people, because we'd like to have you as well on We Got Issues. Okay, so we're going to go to another thing. We're going to talk about another thing, which Simone Biles came home from Tokyo. And I'm so glad to tell you guys, she came home to a huge reception. She's super, super happy. So very excited, feeling very, very favorable, feeling very honored. And
Gloria, I don't know where she lives. I don't know where
Houston.
she lives. I know I should know. Houston.
She lives where?
She's in Houston. Yeah, she's in Houston, you guys. She's in Houston, and it's a very, very big deal because her parents built that elite gym for her. So the whole city of Houston loves her. Everybody loves her. So she came home. But, it could have gone just as easily one way as it went the other way. So that was a really, really big deal. And I don't know how much you guys have been watching the Olympics, but the stories from the Olympics have been phenomenal, where the soccer, they came home with the bronze, the Volleyball came home with the gold. You know, really, okay, let's just be girlfriends here. The volleyball, that's called the thong contest, okay? Because they are playing naked.
Yeah.
They're playing naked.
Booty. Yeah. The women.
I mean,
not the men.
Right, not the men. And if you guys are like me, I watch for the shoot. I watch how the television cameras catch things. And I'd be like, why? Don't even look about the girls at track and they show their booties. I mean, for real.
Okay.
I mean, they, oh my gosh. It just, I don't know. I know we're being appropriate, but really, y'all, for real. They got all kind of awards coming out of the Olympics, okay? All kind of awards coming out of the Olympics.
We got to go to the break. They're playing the music on this, Gloria.
Oh, they're playing the music on me, y'all. I get so excited. Okay, we're going to play the commercials, and we're going to come back and play some bills, and we're going to be right back to you. Love you, love you, love you, love you. We got issues, 9:10 a.m. the Superstation.
Hey, you guys, so much happening. What do you think is the number one news story right now? I mean, I guess everyone's going to say COVID, right? Is there anything? But what's the next most important thing to you? Is it infrastructure? Is it, gosh, there's so much going on. The voting rights. What's the most important thing for you? Or what's the news in your area? You know, we talk so much about what's taking place in New York, what's taking place in California, but y'all live all over. And so what is it? And we appreciate you, Carla. Thank you so much for talking about your how this show, how it fits into your life and how you benefit from it. I'm reading your comment here. Let's be clear, though. The dudes are amazingly handsome, gorgeous as well. Yeah, they ain't showing they booty like that, but they easy on the eyes. How about the dude? Where was he from? Polynesian, who came out and his whole body was greased down. Special oil. I'm like, what kind of oil is that? Like when you look at him and you look at Beyonce's legs, you're like, what does he have on his legs? Thank you, Carla. We love you too. We appreciate you being a part of the tribe. So addressing and dismantling racism. I agree, Deetra Epps. I started to say it and then was just going to let y'all say it because I think everything that's taking place, racism is at the core. I feel like the craziness, even the political, we know voting rights, racism is at the core. Even a lot of what's taking place with COVID and people not wanting to, just get along when it comes to life and death. I believe racism is at the core. Yeah, Carla, somebody help Carla out. Help me out. What is that dude's name? It was two of them, but he came out. Literally, you could go on Google and just say, Polynesian guy in the Olympics, who was shining. He was all over everything. Yeah, we're on it. Facts. It is so true. I hear my voice. Our commercial is playing, so it means we're going to wrap it up. We're talking today about what things did we do during COVID that are we going to continue them? What new habits? What has changed? Are we going to go back to any idea of normal, or is it a new normal? So here we go. We're about to pop back in.
All righty, we're back. I'm so excited to get in here. You guys, seriously, so much good stuff is going. But of course, we got a caller, and of course, it's our friend Marathon. How you doing, Marathon? Oh my gosh, we love you. How's it going?
What's up, ladies?
How you doing?
Hey, Marathon.
I really enjoyed that program yesterday. I was trying to get in what y'all just talked about technology. And I found that when I went to the studio, everything had changed and I was behind. Yeah. So I had to psych myself up and get with technology or get left behind. Yeah. That's right. That's right.
Hey, Marathon.
I
What was the biggest
what was
difference
the
when you went in from the way you were doing things before to the way things are done now? What was the biggest eye-opener for you?
The biggest eye-opener, they don't use tape anymore. Everything is digital.
Oh.
And to be truthful, the analog sound is a warmer sound. Like when you hear Luther Vandross records, his voice is very rich and the music is rich. But today's music is digital and it's very cold. It don't have no feel.
Wow. Wow. So Marathon, when we listen to the old songs, will we, even though we listen to it on new technology, will we hear the old sound or the rich or the new sound?
Yeah, you can hear the difference. I mean, just like for instance, Motown. Motown would sound totally different if it was in today's era.
Wow. Wow. Marathon, we're going to have you come on and talk about that, because that sounds like a topic that we all need to be aware of, because it's a very different thing. When I travel sometimes and we travel with other people, you know how they point to the radio and they say, now this was good music, now this was right music. And they say that all the time, and it could be the way they hear the music. So that's very interesting.
Right.
Yeah,
the other thing that made the change is when they started having program and music directors. They started picking the songs, whereas the DJs made the hits back in the day.
Wow. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's very interesting.
Just like, for instance, the Spinners, when they first came out with their first hit, that was side B. A DJ picked that.
Wow. That's interesting. It's so much. Yeah.
Now it's about payola. I mean, even though they say it's not happening, it's still happening.
What do we say? We got issues. It's all about the finances. We got issues. It's all about the money. All about the economy. Yep. Thank you, Marathon. Yep. We really appreciate you. We really appreciate you. We got another caller. But thank you. You have a great weekend. Keep listening. We got issues. 9:10 a.m. the Superstation. Carla, are you with me? Are you with us?
Oh my God, yes, I am. And this is
gonna give you a round of applause for calling in.
Yeah, I love you guys. Listen, I actually want to give a shout out about Monday's show, Narcissism. I know this is not what you're talking about right now, so, but you know what? Sometimes you forget to say thank you. People complain, but when it's time to say thank you, let's be clear. We need to do that too. Can I tell you that was a godsend program? I kid you not.
Wow.
Just real quick, I had put my face on Facebook, and I'm not one of those people, but I'm saying, let me just put my face on here. So this gentleman reached out, to make a long story short, something about the picture, it's going to sound funny, but it's like God was trying to tell me something going on here. I'm just going to leave it right there. The gentleman reached out a day or two later, and it turns out I was getting information based on what you guys said. I'm like, it sounds like it's scripture. And then, but I was like, let me put a positive spin on this. Let me not be judgmental. We were going to meet for coffee or something. I got to work, and one of the girls I work with, I told her, hey, I got to go home and because I was too much of a hurry to put my lashes on right, that kind of stuff. And then she said, well, what are you doing? I said, I'm meeting a gentleman that was in this building for however many years. She said, well, what's the name? When I tell you, she came right out with, oh, Lord, narcissist. I was like, oh, my God. I'm giving you the short version. All I'm telling you all is Caterina, bless their wonderful self, talk about what are some of the subjects. The news is doing some things that y'all are doing some things that the news is not doing. Do you know how many people you helped, including myself, with those kind of conversations? You just saved me some headache, some mind ache, some spirit ache, because I said, Lord Jesus, I'm real sensitive. And I said, I don't have time for people I don't have, okay, I'm going to say it, y'all. I don't have time for crazy. Can I say that?
Right.
Okay.
You got to say that. You can say that. You can definitely say that. We got issues, but we don't want no additional issues for sure. I really appreciate you saying that, Carla. Yes. Because thank you really do make it love.
It does. And let me just be very clear. When I listen to you all, I feel the love. I feel the love. I feel the love that you guys have. And it's so, listen, I'm not going to tie you up. We got only an hour to talk about all this stuff. So thank you. I appreciate you. I love you.
Well, thank you so much, Carla. We love you.
Call in. It makes such a difference. You guys call in and let us talk to you at 313-778-7600. Don't make us say the number 15 times before you pick up the phone and call us like Carla just did. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. However, we have to go, like Carlene said, we have to go to talk about the Jamaicans and how they've been winning and how they've been sweeping.
Wow.
If you have not watched the Jamaicans sweep it, that is good. It really makes a difference. Oh, okay. It really makes a difference. Seriously makes a difference for the fact that they are sweeping on both the men and the women, the gold, the silver, the browns, but really they're breaking such records. So I just had to say that for a second. I just really had to say that for a second. So let me talk about this. Let's talk about some things that have made a difference. Girlfriends, in terms of the 9/11, what has been a major change for you? Samia, I didn't count it yet. How much?
Well, if you talk about 9/11, it's all about the airport. It's all about going to security. It's all about how so much changed. And, you know, they came up with all of these. You had to walk through the scanner. You had to take everything out of your purse. And so, you know, that was, to me, one of the biggest deals that came out of 9/11.
Want me to give them 200?
For me, you know, with my father being an aircraft engineer, being in the airport, that always was my life. And I just remember all the international travel growing up. I noticed the emotional difference when it was time to travel. Like literally, it just, I trust me, I'm not giving it up, because the end, you know, what I have to go through is worth it for the experience on the other end. There is nothing like seeing the world. But I literally just tighten up. It's a different experience. It's not like, yay, we're going to the airport, you know, not just because you were a kid, but it was no longer luxurious.
Right.
So, and I
think did you guys notice also, that people even dress differently? Yeah. You notice that?
Yeah.
They dress differently.
Because if you're going to have to get undressed, why seriously, you put on too much jewelry. Now you just got to take it off. So as I walk through, I go, can't wear this ring, can't wear that, can't wear these shoes, can't do that.
But wait,
don't want to bend down and unstrap this shoe. Don't want to bend down and unstrap that shoe. Don't want to sit there and hold up the whole line.
Absolutely. Right. And you know how you're able to go through the quick line because you got clear or you got TSA pre-check. And I'm telling you, when I would travel with Buddy, he would look at me because I would go through the pre-check, but I got on 5 necklaces, bracelets, all this stuff. And Gloria, Caterina, he would just roll his eyes and say, TSA is just lost on you. You still got to take everything off. Can you please just not come with all of that stuff on? And I mean, he would roll his eyes and shake his head like, really? Really?
But you know what? Let me tell you why we do it. Y'all, those of you who understand the girlfriends, when we walk into the airport, like getting on this radio show, we want everybody to appreciate us. So when I walk up to the Southwest Air counter, he always says, you dress so nice, because I know I'm dressing nicer than the people that are in the Spirit airline. So I just get all excited about that. Right, Chris? I know you're laughing. You guys, seriously, let me read some statistics to you, and we're going to go back on it. The number one thing that changed after 9/11, you guys, was the war on terror begun. The war on terror begun. That was the biggest change, according to the study. The number one thing, George Bush said, it's going to start with Al Qaeda, but it doesn't end there. Don't laugh when I don't pronounce it right. Al Qaeda, but it doesn't end there, and that it's just a really big deal. And that when America invaded Afghanistan, And then it spread from that. It spread from country to country to country. So you guys, 9/11 switched our world around in so many ways. So many ways. Then the second thing was air travel was transformed. Air travel was transformed dramatically. They said the 9/11 timeline, you guys, before 9/11, people didn't even have to have a ticket to wander around the airport or wait at the gate. Y'all remember just walking up to the gate, saying goodbye to your kids, everybody crying, all that kind of stuff. Now you got to cry all the way at the door and say goodbye to your parents all the way at the door, and you better be sniffling all the way. People looking at you were like, what happened? No one checked the passenger's ID. The only items that people had to remove when passing through security, if there was security, was loose change in their pockets. Most airports, listen to this, you guys, most airports didn't even do background checks on their employees, and none of the baggage was ever scanned.
Wow.
They didn't scan the baggage or whatever. Then they made the Transportation Security Administration, TSA, which was a brand new federal agency by November 2001. So we got attacked in September. By November 2001. So anybody that tells you it takes a long time for the government to do something, it only takes them a long time to do something when they want it to take a long time to do something. Within the year, TSA had employed 50,000 employees. 50,000 employees, you guys. Yes. And listen to this. TSA officers are also trained in behavior detection. They can recognize if you are holding your baggage too tightly, if you appear confused or disoriented, if you have signs of a recently shaved beard. Beard, you guys. It will flag you for additional screening. You know how we sometimes get flagged for additional screening? We never know how, know why we got pulled over to the side. It's because you guys cut your beard. So don't cut your beard, and then you won't be pulled over to the side. You guys, is that
Gloria?
serious?
But that's one of the things that changed. Is I think it contributed to racism, because I don't remember folks walking around looking at Muslim people or looking at a man who looks a certain way, and you know, I mean, and people were more friendly just in general on the plane. Now it's like, okay, you're looking at everybody. If somebody moves, if they go too close to the cockpit, you know, just all of that. It's a whole
vibe. Our suspicion went up a lot more, and we were judging people a lot more based on what they looked like, based on, you know, how they talked. And I mean, it's sad, but it's true.
Yeah, it's a big deal. They said over 6,000 people who have been placed on the no-fly list. But listen to this. Surveillance went up across the country, not just at the airports, but all surveillance. People put more surveillance on their house, more surveillance on their cars, more. And it started at 9/11. So that changed the whole trajectory of how we feel about where we live in our community. And you know how people start seeing, I mean, racism has always been big, but then remember like years of racism when you would see someone from a country that looked like that race that might have caused the terrorism, the tremendous amount of racism that happened with them. That was another huge shift.
Acceptable immigrants versus the unacceptable immigrant.
Right.
Yes. That's a big one, Caterina.
Right. You guys, so that's a really big deal. They talked about how fear of the 9/11 has shaken everybody. That's what you were talking about, Caterina, when you talked about getting tight. Why the Patriots Act is so controversial, because it backs up racism. It affects your civil liberties. And then America became safer but altered. It became safer, but altered. That was so interesting. They talked about how the U.S. flags rose and stand on the names of the people at the World Trade Center, and how people felt about that. But you guys, I remember flying for the first. Y'all remember flying for the first time after 9/11?
I was at the World Trade on August 28th, just for record. So I remember before.
On the 28th?
August 28th, and was headed back for the Michael Jackson concert, which got canceled because it was going to be that time, and didn't go back because it was going to be September 8th or 9th. Can you believe that?
Wow.
So you went for a tour? You went for a tour of the World Trade Center?
We went shopping. Do you remember, Gloria, all the shops at the bottom of the World Trade Center? I mean, I took my mom, her birthday's August 11th, and I took her on a shopping spree. And I gave her a lot of cash and let her buy whatever she wanted to buy. And one of our favorite places to shop was down at that bottom part of World Trade. I mean, we did major damage down there shopping. She had so many bags. That's why we were there.
Wow, that's so interesting. You guys, it's just so many things have changed. They talk about the U.S. Patriot Act. Let me tell you this. The purpose of the U.S. Patriot Act is to deter and punish terrorist acts in the United States and around the world, to enhance law enforcement and investigation tools and other purposes. So now when it comes into the hacking that we deal with on the internet and all those things that we don't do now, it is really interesting to see how the acts that started in 9/11, how they've gotten so bigger now that we're, past 9/11, and it's permeated even beyond that. I remember when I was traveling with my girlfriend, the first time I traveled after 9/11, I was with Pam Shaw and Angio Onawa. Girl, when they said Angio Onawa, that was it. They were checking everything, like everything. I looked at her like, why are you on the same ticket as I am? Oh, Onawa made us stop, girl. We were so mad. She couldn't go nowhere. She couldn't go nowhere. It was her name. Yeah, it just in the name. It had nothing to do with nothing. They took everything apart. They took all our luggage apart, all our boxes apart, all our everything apart. Just because her name was Onawa. I said, could you please go to Miller or something, because this is slowing me down for real. I'm never gonna get to the airport. That's how I felt.
That's how I felt after Hurricane Katrina when I was flying back and forth to Mississippi. Okay, I was like, my name is Caterina now. Now my name is Caterina. Okay, can someone telling you, can Katrina come meet you? No, I ain't trying to meet Katrina. Okay,
right.
Yeah,
right. Okay, so can y'all think of anything else before we go to COVID? Anything else that might have changed in your life that has made a difference? Because COVID has made a lot of changes. But think about 9/11. Anything else in 9/11 that's made a change? I'll tell you some other things. It's interesting how AAA still, the driving, the way that we drive and the way that we travel, it's been the biggest hit has been on the travel. And then they say the other biggest hit is things we don't see. Things we don't know.
And you know what?
Things we never care about.
That I do know that happened after 9/11 is if you had not traveled before, you probably wouldn't have noticed, but like a lot of the federal buildings, especially in Washington, D.C., whereas before, you could walk, really close. And of course they had security, but now they have those big boulders and cemented things in front so that, nobody can just drive up and cause havoc. So it's kind of taken a little of the beauty away, the openness, which, America was known for the freedom and that, just the beauty of it. But every time you go and you see where there's blockades, it's a reminder of what happened at 9/11.
Right.
Yeah.
And when you go through those buildings now, you have all that security where you didn't have it before. There's a lot of security when you just go to the building. The museums, you can't go to a museum.
Right. And now when you go to the games, like when we, when we were in Arizona and we went to the stadium, I mean, I don't ever remember having to have my purse screened and, have walking through security, all of that, 9/11.
Right.
I think for me also, it became this us against them. It did bring the country together in a way that I hadn't really felt. Because in my lifetime, I couldn't remember another single event that brought us together. Now, that went away when something else happened, then go back to being crazy. But kind of the way I felt around the Olympics in a good way at 9/11, you started feeling like we were all in this together. So it's just, it was interesting. It
Right.
changed so many ways. Everyone remembers where they were.
They said that 9/11 and the economic downturn were the two most major things that happened in that century, in the 21st century. Now we have COVID now coming up. So, okay, let's talk about COVID. Let's talk about the changes of COVID. Now, first, let me tell you why this topic was so interesting to me. Because when I was somewhere and I was at a woman's house and it was beautiful, I was in Florida for something, and she said to me that the changes that happened in 9/11, some of the similar changes are going to be forever during COVID. And, when I didn't think about forever until she mentioned it. What are going to be the forever changes that we didn't realize? Some people even saying masks could be a forever change. But listen to this, you guys. The income, the national financial loss for COVID right now is sitting at $15.2 billion.
Wow.
$15.2 billion in the
That's
last
US?
year and a half that we've been dealing with COVID. What'd you say?
That's US, Gloria?
Yes.
That's
It's
that's
the
just the US.
arts and cultural. Listen, the arts and cultural sector of the U.S. More than half of Americans have prayed for the virus to end the spread of the virus. So that's been a very big deal. Let's talk a little bit about amongst ourselves or the callers who might call in at 313-778-7600. Who's got something to think about let's see, do we have a caller on now? Do we have a caller? We might have lost that caller. Okay, so what do you guys think have changed since for you?
You know what? I'll talk about it from the perspective of church. Okay.
Yes.
I think one of the biggest things that we've come to the reality is that Christians are the church and it's not the building. And before, it was the place that you gathered and you were there, every week and the fellowship and all of that. And I think we have found different ways to come together, still feel unified. And that I think we're at a place now where, you know how they say you if you do something for 90 days, it creates a habit. Well, I believe that because many churches have found other ways to come together to worship, and the people are starting to get accustomed to it. And that's not to say that there aren't those that are still saying, oh, I can't wait to go back into the building. But I think we have found that, you know what? God is God, whether you're in a church building or whether you are not. So I think it's just a different relationship, a different knowing of who God is, as opposed to it being relegated to being inside a physical building. And then the last thing I will say is that a lot of churches really found out that they were stuck in the old ways. They kind of fought, right? They fought against social media. They fought against, doing their services on Facebook Live, because they were in that old paradigm that you go to church, you have to be in a pew. And there are so many churches that their biggest church is their viewership, and it's not the people that's coming to the physical building. So I think a lot of churches, pastors and whatnot, had to shift in their thinking of what church really is. So for me, that was a big change.
That was a big change. They even speak about that, Chris. They talk about among adults who said in an earlier survey, they attended religious services at least once or twice a month. Most, 59%, say they have scaled back on their attendance because of Corona, but they haven't stopped attending church. They just stopped going to the building of the church. So that was very interesting. They said a similar share, 57% reports having watched religious services entirely online or on TV instead of attending in person. 4 in 10 regular worshipers appear to have replaced in-person attendance with virtual worship. 4 out of 10.
And whereas you would watch, Bishop Jakes, or you would watch Stephen Furtick, now you are watching the pastor who has, 75 members. So small has become the new big. Everyone has the same outlet. I wanted to say another big thing for me is geography. No longer people realize geography does not limit us. Where somebody works and where you live is no longer relevant. Who your customer is does not have to be your. So we just and the amount of time we're willing to invest in something has been. We have realized that I do not have to get dressed, put on makeup, do all this stuff, go across and take 3 hours to do something that now I can do in 20 minutes. So people just will not tolerate doing things a certain way. It's going to be interesting to see how these large companies pivot, because all of them aren't meeting the needs of the way the small business owner is able to quickly help you, and it doesn't take as long to do stuff as it used to do.
Right. I mean, we've changed so much. We got a caller. Do we have a caller? Dietrich, are you there?
Yes, hello. This is Dietrich.
Hey, Dietrich, how are you?
Dietrich, how are you?
I am doing great, thank you. I think this topic is just it's so relevant to what we're all going through. So I'm appreciating being able to Gloria, when you said, here's the number, somebody call in. I was like, let me call in and give my my thoughts on this as well. So, but I think all of what you're saying, I agree with completely. And I see a thread. I work in, addressing racism as a root cause, like Caterina, like you were saying, addressing racism as a root cause of a lot of the inequities and problems that we're seeing. So I actually see a thread through the 9/11 to the COVID-19, which is a lot of it is based, a lot of the impact of each of these 9/11 and COVID-19 are connected to racism. So I know friends and family who, like you, Gloria, were talking about, because of their names, they couldn't travel. They were on the no-wait list just because their last name was Mohammed, or, and so, and I traveled a lot all around the world for work. And with COVID-19, I now am literally working from home. I love it. I don't have to. I can work, in my own home, from my home office, wherever I want to work in my office. And just like you were saying, Caterina, that is a benefit for me, and it's a cost benefit for my clients, because they don't have to pay travel costs. And I can work. I can work with whomever, wherever, right here from my home. And I know that a lot of the clients that I work with, they had telework policies that some of their staff, their bosses or their supervisors, were the ones that could say if they could or could not work from home. And there were a lot of stipulations that said they didn't want them to work from home. But now there's proof that they can work from home and they can get as much done. And so offices are now having to make the decision on, they can lose their people if they don't allow them to work from home. So it has changed everything in terms of working remotely and being able to get the job done. But what I will say, I can't leave this call without saying the key thing that I saw during COVID-19, which was when the data first came out to show that people of color were more greatly impacted by COVID-19 than others. And that wasn't because of, that's not because they're people of color. It's because there were already health disparities and there are already health issues that have been impacting our communities because of lack of access to health care and other things that are in place. Right. But I think a silver lining to this dark cloud is that once we couldn't pretend that these differences don't exist anymore. They're staring us right in the face with COVID-19. And then with the tragic murder of George Floyd, and the open conversations about race and racism that
That's
happened
good,
during
Dietrich.
COVID-19, it has enabled us to have open conversations that we never could have before in the office. The taboo topics that we're now able to talk about in ways that are opening up the conversation about what racism really is and the impact that it has had on our country and on our people for generations. So I know that was a lot of words, but I really wanted to weigh in on this conversation because I think it's just such an important one.
Wow, Gigi, that was fabulous. That was so fabulous. That wasn't too many words. I'm so glad that you called in. And you just really made a difference by lending your voice and lending your perspective, Gigi. That was very, very powerful. Because what you said was there's a light in this darkness. And it is true that the conversation has dramatically become different. And if that had happened and we were not in COVID, we may not have paid it as much attention as we were able to, because in COVID, we knew how to reach people. We knew how to talk to people. We knew how to listen to the news. We had more time to pay attention to what was significantly important, where before we would have lost a lot of time in the travel, a lot of communication time. So that was very, very big, Dixie, very big. Thank you. Thank you so much for
You guys,
calling
so much has happened. They talk about amid the coronavirus, the percentage of people that are uncomfortable. 91% people are uncomfortable attending a crowded party. 77 people are uncomfortable going to a restaurant. 66% are uncomfortable going to a polling place to vote. 42%, you guys, still 42% are afraid to go to the grocery store, and 38% are afraid to visit a close friend or a family member in their house. That was just, those numbers are still very, very high. I want to say this before we go. I want to just read some things that have made a difference 1 year later since COVID. Number one, the comfort level at shopping malls. Number two, staycations are at their highest ever. Online dating has taken a huge leap. Premium product purchases has taken a big dive. Share, who said they have been vaccinated. First, people would not say if they were vaccinated, and now it's going up a little bit. Medicaid and Affordable Care Act has been major important. The healthcare visit has gone down and now gone up. They're talking about movie theater traffic went to a halt. Kids screening time has gone up. Programming pilots that include COVID has gone up. Comfort among sports fans attending sports events took a dive, and now it's on the rise. You guys, sports for youth has gone down. There's been so many things. We can't cover it all, but you guys have been so good to us on We Got Issues this week. We're so glad that you tuned in to 9:10 a.m. the Superstation as we shut down this Friday and we go into the weekend. We cannot wait to be with you again on Monday when We Got Issues. Now listen, pay attention, because you got issues. Your friend got issues. Your girlfriend got issues. And come back with us this Monday at 6 o'clock, because we got issues on 9:10 a.m. the Superstation. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Awesome. Thank you for the callers. Thank you for the callers.
Yes.
We appreciate it. Appreciate you
We're
guys.
so
So
glad.
good.
Facebook, y'all have a great weekend. Thanks for tuning in with us. We're so appreciative of your energy, your calling, your comments, and what you say. You lend a lot to us, and we thank you for calling in. We'll see you Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.